Right, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do another couple of episodes. We haven't put anything up for a while, but hopefully I'll document all this and put as many episodes up as possible. Doing a new engine build. It's a M50 block and we're using B30 internals from an M54, so we'll make a stroker. Hopefully I'll be able to document it all and bring you through the full process, show you as much as possible. But for now, I'll show you the block, I'll show you the engine we're using, starting off with, and I'm going to get that all stripped down, ready to put the B30 internals in. I have already done this once, but it was with an M52 block, and it stripped the threads, so when putting the head back on, so I thought we're going to try it now with an M50 block, using standard head bolts, basically to keep the cost down, so doing this as cheap as possible, and hopefully you enjoy. So this is the engine I'm going to be using, M50B30 vanos, single vanos. Basically only going to use the block off this engine. I've already got a skimmed head that I was using on the last one. It's all built up ready, so that will go on this. This is the last engine, last block I was using. As you can see, it was all painted ready, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So what I'm going to do now is start stripping this one down, and I'll come back to you when there's a bit more done. Right, so we're going to get the vanos removed. Simple enough job when you've got the right tools. Quite a cheap kit, but it does the job. So basically a few 10mm bolts all the way around, remove them, and then we need to remove these two big bolts, undo these. Then we'll use the timing tools then to clock it and remove off. So I just get that I get that off now and show you. It's a bit hard to film and do this at the same time, so I'm filming all this on a phone at the moment. I haven't got my GoPro with me. So you just clock it and it should then slide off. So our vanos unit is off. So basically, as you see, there's a few bolts around here, 10mm. Just undo them, couple of torques, undo them, clock this with your timing tool, and it just slides straight off. So when taking all this off, use a pin, push the tensioner down, that just allows you to slacken the chain. So I'm going to start removing cams now and get the head off. Get the tensioner, everything off as well. Right, so we're going to remove the head. We need an E8 socket, E8 torque socket. It's a slimline one. don't know if you can see that. There you go, E8. That's for the front bolts. There's a couple of small ones, one there, and there's a couple for the torque, a couple of torque ones then for the tensioner, and another small one down there. So it has to be a slimline one, otherwise it won't obviously fit down. Then the main head bolts, as you can see, I don't know if you can see them down there. They're an E12. I just ground down a normal E12 socket just so it's a bit slimmer, so it doesn't get stuck in between the cam carriers. So just loosen all them off and completely take them out. If you have a magnet, just pull them up out of the way, but the head now should lift off. So I'm going to get that lifted off and come back in a moment. Okay, so head has been removed, all in one piece. So we kept the cams and everything in place, and just as easier than trying to keep everything and box everything up. So I'll keep that like that for now. I probably won't need it because I've got an M52 head that's already built up, and it's been skimmed and everything, so probably just go and use that. This is ready now to be, the rest of the bits need to be stripped off. Sump, pulley wheel, water pump, all these bits, oil filter housing. So I'm going to get them off now, get it stripped down then, and we'll have a look at starting to clean it up. Right, so the M50 now is completely stripped, everything's out. That's the old M50 pistons and crank. Then we've got the M50 block all stripped down. Next now is to give it all a clean up before putting the other internals in. I'm going to give it a clean, and then next video then I'll show you all the internals and probably start putting everything back together and get it ready. There was a few bits on this delayed me, you'll probably see from the time lapse. I had to cut the water pump off and the viscous fan as it was seized. A few other small little fiddly bits, but other than that it's only been about an hour's work to get it all stripped down. So I'll see you next time.